Good morning and welcome to Little by Little, a short time in God's Word. Today, December 20th. And our readings, John 7 and 8. Let us go into John chapter 8. Now there's a little section there, the first little bit, that some will say it's not really in the Bible, it was an add-on, so we're just going to leave that for now. But it's in here, so we're going to still say it's God's Word. But let's pick it up in verse 12. And again, these aren't new concepts. If you've been reading the Bible at all, at any length of time, you've probably heard this verse, maybe you just didn't know where it was. So John 8, verse 12. Again, Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. I am the light of the world. If you follows me, will not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. So right away, just in this, we understand there's some things about who he's saying he is, about who we are if we follow him, and what that's going to look like. Who is he? Well, to be the light of the world, that's a pretty big statement, right? Like, that's not like I'm the lighthouse of the world, or it's the light of the world. Right? Like, without me, there is nothing. Which makes sense if he's the creator. You're like, okay. And then if we have this imagery in the Bible, which we do, of light and dark, and Jesus himself here talking about that he's on the side of light, right? And light penetrates darkness. And whoever follows me, so if we follow after him, will not walk in darkness. We'll have the light of life. Will not walk in. And Paul's going to take a lot of these things and expound on them in the epistles, the letters that he writes to different churches and different people, as he talks about the things that we put off and the things that we put on. Jesus talks about it in John as well, about if you love me, you'll keep my commandments, you'll be obedient, right? That's how you demonstrate your love for me. And so the fact is, if we follow him, we don't walk in darkness. You're like, well, I feel like I'm walking in darkness. Are you following Jesus? Right? Because sin happens when we get our eyes off Jesus. Temptation comes, and rather than look to him, rather than flee temptation, we give into it. And so we move from the light into the dark. And the only way that gets broken is through exposure of the light. And we bring it out into the open. Why? Because if you follow him, you walk not in darkness, but in the light, and have the light of life. It's likely this is not a one-shot deal. It's a learning process to walk in the light as he is in the light. I pray that that's happening this Christmas season in and for your life. Till next time, keep growing little by little.